Yeah, hello, and welcome back to Muji's Tavern with your host, Muji. Today, I wanted to talk about Time Slide, which has two of my favorite X-Men who, as chance would have it, absolutely hate each other, despite being somewhat similar. That is Cable and Bishop. Both of them having a storied history, and their beef initially came from when Bishop was convinced that Hope Summers, that's Cable's adoptive daughter, was responsible for the destruction of his future, and that led to a period that I personally believe was the worst in Bishop's history as a character, as the character assassination was something special. But let's not talk about trash like that. Today, I'm here to talk about something that's slightly better than trash. The title of the story itself is a reference to Cable's ability to, time slide. The book itself is a primer for Marvel's events of the year or subsequent years, which I kind of like, honestly. I dislike when events are separated from the main universe, and I like that there should be an in-universe continuity, stuff like that. And this was written by Steve Fox. No, not the dude from Tekken, but wouldn't that have been awesome?
When it comes to who talks the most, you definitely win.
Nah, this dude is just lamer. He's written stuff like Spider-Woman as well as many other, mediocre under this thing stuff. And while the art is done by Ivan Forelli, and not gonna lie, his art heavily carries this book. And I really like his art style. That's not to say that the book story is, awful, but we'll see that, and I'll let you guys judge in the comments below. And we see our story begins in New York as a young chicken mutant is running in a dark alley before being assaulted by a mutant villain known as Emplate. Long story short, this dude sucks out bone marrow.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Right. Right as he's about to begin feasting on some nice prime chicken, Bishop jumps out and blasts this fool, and we learn that this criminal had amnesty from Krakoa. However, with the collapse of Krakoa, a bunch of these criminals have been scattered to the winds, and Bishop is keeping tabs on them. A brawl ensues as Emplate makes it clear he's definitely gonna suck somebody dry tonight.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
And as he leaps for Bishop, he is frozen in time, much to Bishop's surprise. A woman steps out of the shadow, revealing that it was Tempest. Now, Tempest is a mutant with the ability to manipulate time and was part of the Five. These 5 mutants were responsible for the resurrection protocols in Krakoa, so she's insanely powerful. As we learn from her conversation with Bishop, she needs to recruit him and somebody else for a mission. Need to head off now. And as soon as they travel, Bishop witnesses a shattered time stream, with several of them referencing several stories that are running, such as Sorcerer Supreme Doom, The 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, New Champions, Age of Apocalypse, and Timeless, to name a few. That's some of these events have happened in the past, or most of them have happened in the past, or concurrently as we speak. As they arrive, Tempest tells Bishop to forget most of what he has seen, as it's better this way. Anyway, a woman points a gun to their faces, wondering who they are, but is stopped by the arrival of Cable, who remarks that isn't Tempest supposed to be in the White Hall room like last time that he checked? And Tempest informs both of them that the reason she got them both was only the both of them has dealt with this kind of threat before, causing both of them to realize that, it's the children of the vault, and they are the threat this time. And the children of the vault are this bunch of hyper-intelligent, hyper-advanced group made by the Maker. And I think Hickman made up back in the day, back when the Ultimate Universe was dying that year. And he consistently puts them in Marvel, and now, they constantly reoccur. Now, are they interesting? Sometimes, maybe. But that's beside the point. Tempest gives a recap to us, the reader, of what they are, and tells us both that Cable and Bishop beat them back before, but they created an anti-mutant weapon called Vacuna. Vacuna is a chronal tunneler, and it travels across time, consuming pivotal moments in mutant history, essentially erasing them from history. What is it with this book and the villain sucking up things? Anyway, time itself is coming apart by the seams and they need to stop that. So in order to do so, Tempest gives them 2 time sliders and gives them the task of wearing at least Vacuna down so that she can put it in stasis, sacrificing herself. And Cable and Bishop assure her that won't be necessary. They travel to any point where Vacuum Boy is, and while they will not be able to go to his exact location, at least they will be close enough where they can sense him. Cable kisses his girlfriend goodbye as they saddle up with an arsenal of weapons. They both get teleported to Westchester, New York, i.e. the X-Mansion, as Wolverine is thrown in their direction, revealed that they have been sent back to the days of the Dark Phoenix. But something seems off, as something is odd about the lineup. Miss Marvel is part of the team for some odd reason, but before they could react, Vacuum Boy shows up and sucks the Phoenix dry.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Bishop and Cable attack it to no avail and they aren't able to deal any damage, and Bishop makes the call for them to fall back, much to the annoyance of Cable. They arrive in the near future post when Bishop was picked up. As they squabble amongst themselves, a warlock drone shows up and promises them termination.
You are terminated.
And right then, a young mutant X-Man known as Bronze shows up in the nick of time. Bronze is a relatively new character, sans the colored hair. All the newer characters have colored hair. It amuses me. Anyway, Bronze has the ability to make her skin as hard as adamantium, and she uses it to destroy the drone. And she gives both Cable and Bishop updates as the Heir of Apocalypse has won. How many post-apocalyptic events do they want to be stopping with the X-Men self? Every time there's always a post-apocalyptic event that they have to stop. It's getting tired. Anyway, she gives them a list of events that lead to their future, and this list is definitely looking interesting. With One World Over Doom, Under Doom, the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, the Ghost Fist Walks Again, Age of Revelation, the 3K Gene Bomb, Ultimate Incursion, Who is the Man with the Hammer, etc. Now, the one I'm personally very, very interested in is the Ghost Fist, as the Ghost Fist is Danny Rand. So let's see what they will do with his character now that they've given his title to some Chinese boy. Some of these events look interesting, not gonna lie, and hopefully they actually turn out to be interesting. Cable senses Vacuum Boy and realizes that Vacuum Boy is hurting them and teleports out centuries ago when they meet a younger Apocalypse, weirdly drawn to look like The Rock. Marvel, please do not cast Dwayne Johnson as Apocalypse. He does not possess that range. I beg of you, please don't do this. Don't do this to me.
Release me! Release me!
Cable agrees with my sentiment and he blasts Apocalypse. And as Bishop asks him, isn't the timeline screwed up on enough as is? And Cable smiles, saying, he will get better anyway. It actually made me chuckle. Vacuum Cleaner arrives and they start blasting, and it's about to upchuck something, and they realize it was sending them back across time to...
No. Wait.
E is for extinction during the fist attack on Magneto's tower. But at the last second, they both send each other to different points in time. Cable arrives in Bishop's timeline and he sees a bunch of XSC enforcers giving a healthy dose of that sweet police brutality. And Cable wonders how Bishop came to be a stickler for the rules. Then he sees a young Lucas Bishop taking care of his sister, Shard, who honestly should make a comeback. Please, she's been in creative limbo for far too long. Marvel, please bring her back. Thank you. Bishop arrives in New Canaan in the far-flung future and arrives in a battle in between Cable and Stripe's forces. And he sort of sympathizes with Cable as he witnesses the death of his wife and son, Tyler. As Cable's soldiers find Bishop, he teleports out and they both show up at Chile near a destroyed Sentinel carcass during the events of Fall of X, and they show us that this was where they put the children down the first time that they fought. He's not going to let Tempest sacrifice herself and states that mutants must constantly adapt or die, and that they realize a plan of attack. Since the children of the vault only have a straight line of time and no divergences like everyone else, they cock their guns as Vacuum Boy arrives again. As they attack, they buy time as Tempest arrives ready to sacrifice herself, as Cable assures her that she should not do that one now, like she should calm down, and he just asks her to slow down, let her slow down Vacuum Boy. As she slows Vacuum Boy down. Cable and Bishop teleport them to the crèche where Vacuum Boy was created, letting him go as he attacks, destroying the moment of its own creation. As he spat out everything it consumed till that point, the cult caretaker warning, gone deep, he just left him alone, and they return back to the moment where Tempest pulled Bishop from. After exchanging pleasantries and being grateful for them saving her from a self-sacrifice, she leaves and she tells them to forget most of the things that they saw, as it could mess with their perception of time anyway. And Bishop and Cable team up to beat up that sock boy known as Emplate, and it ends the book. It definitely was an interesting primer for what is to come and what they have plans to do subsequently. I liked what this one shot did not daddle or waste too much time on setups. Like, it just puts a bunch of them sprinkled across the book, and it actually allows us to at least focus on the main characters. A lot of these Easter eggs and callbacks are pretty cool, especially if you're a hardcore reader. I genuinely wish that this was actually a long mini series rather than, a one shot. And the fast pace I wish it was a bit slower, but I'm happy with what we got. As usual, don't forget to subscribe and let me know your thoughts in the comments, and peace.